was packed to capacity.
Wind came in the house, blew out 2 sheets of plywood. House started to leak. Houses were off the foundation and gone. House bust wide open. Half of the house missing.
The electric wire come loose and start wrapping around the house. I say, Lord, what this is, man? This a demon.
Hurricanes are serious, and we need to prepare for them.
Think of what could happen to the structure that you're in. Think about what your needs will be before, during, and after.
Listen to our weather people when they tell you to evacuate.
If you have stuff that you need to secure, secure it. Secure that when you move, it moves with you.
Be wise and have something put aside in the event that a storm comes that you can at least manage yourself to some period of time of 3 months or whatever the case may be.
You should have your important documents ready at any time for any movement that needs to happen, especially during June 1st to November 30th.
Hi, my name is Dr. Trevor Johnson, a disaster management specialist with the Inter-American Development Bank and a proud Bahamian. Here's a list of 6 considerations to help you get ready for disasters.
Get the list of all approved shelters in your community or island. Ensure that your disaster kit is ready. Although the government will do its best to provide relief after a disaster, humanitarian aid may take time.
Don't forget to make sure that your hurricane insurance policy is up to date.
Ensure you've made repairs to your house and property. If you can, invest in hurricane-proof windows and shutters.
Stay connected to the news and follow the government's alerts on the radio, social media, and television.
If you or a family member have reduced mobility to move away from danger, please make sure that you have a plan in place should a disaster strike. For more information, visit www.nema-bahamas.info.
This message has been brought to you by the Inter-American Development Bank and the Government of the Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the race is on, and tonight we have team coverage on the upcoming by-election.
We have the latest from the West Grand Bahama constituency. The Free National Movement ratifying its standard bearer. We have the latest.
COI candidate Lincoln Bean says he is the man for the job for West Grand Bahama and Bimini.
Also, from $200 to $500 million, the Carnival Cruise Port project is expected to create thousands of jobs for Grand Bahamians. And dengue fever cases throughout the country continuing to climb. Those stories, sports, and more in the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks for tuning in. The West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election heating up, and tonight we've got you covered with the latest. Well, topping the news tonight, it is decision day for the Progressive Liberal Party, and shortly it is expected that an announcement will be made by the National General Council on who will represent the party in the upcoming West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. 10 aspirants were interviewed on Thursday by the Candidates Committee, and today one hopeful will move forward as the PLP's standard bearer. Desmond Saunders is joining us live from PLP's Farrington Road headquarters in the nation's capital. Desmond, tell us what's happening there.
Well, activity is building here at the PLP headquarters on Farrington Road. A number of PLP supporters assembling here to find out who will be the next nominee or the official candidate to represent the party in the upcoming by-election, and who will be the standard bearer for the PLP for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. The PLP National Candidates Committee met yesterday to vet some 10 PLP aspirants seeking the party's nomination for West Grand Bahama and Bimini. And the final decision now rests with the National General Council, who will vote tonight on whether to accept the committee's recommendations for the PLP nominee. Now, that nominee, whoever is chosen tonight, will become the party's standard bearer or candidate against the Free National Movement ratified candidate Bishop Ricardo Grant in the upcoming West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election runoff. Now, this race has attracted suspense and excitement among party supporters and political hopefuls, each candidate promising hope and change and to continue Obie Wilscomb's rich legacy. Political heavyweight Shane Gibson and Chief Passport Officer Kingsley Smith, among some of the most popular personalities in this candidacy. Smith says his philosophies are in line with the Progressive Liberal Party. Shane Gibson, political heavyweight and former cabinet minister, promising social reform for his constituents. And we will wait and see the runoff and the results here this evening. Back to you in the studios, Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Thank you, Desmond. We certainly await that announcement. Well, meantime, the Free National Movement Party ratifying its candidate Thursday evening, Bishop Ricardo Grant, a native of 8 Mile Rock and former police reservist superintendent, named as the F&M's standard bearer. Our Jolanda Thompson-Everest caught up with him at the airport as he was heading to Bimini earlier today. She joins us live now with the latest. Jolanda.
Romiko, he says it is a life calling to be the voice for the people. Bishop Ricardo Grant now ratified as the Free National Movement's standard bearer for the upcoming by-election in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. He is sharing that residents down here are looking for a significant change, and with their support, Grant says he believes he is the man who will shift the trajectory of West Grand Bahama and Bimini. On Thursday evening, Grant was ratified among the party supporters as the F&M's standard bearer in the nation's capital.
Let me emphatically say that it is always a privilege and an honor to serve, not only serve my fellow man, but serve as I have been serving my Lord and Savior, and now serving him, family, and state, community. It is a blessing and it is an honor before God.
A clergyman for 35 years and a native from Hannah Hill, 8 Mile Rock, Grant says that there has been a level of concern within both communities of West Grand Bahama, but he hopes that the person who wins the seat is someone who can navigate change that needs to be done in both communities.
Believe and have seen also too, things have been for our people in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. We certainly have been concerned and have been expressing those concerns, and then also to issues and plights that we've seen over the 2 years in review and even further back.
And he contends that as the official opposition, this is a good opportunity to bring the message of service.
The people in West Grand Bahama they're looking for the kind of representation that would bring forward their voices.
The F&M candidate says that living in West Grand Bahama has been a blessing, and he adds that this has been the community that molded him into a man with principle and values. And he expresses that what other way to say thank you than to be a representative with a vision for both West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Live in 8 Mile Rock for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest. Back to you in studio, Romiko.
Thanks, Jolanda. Now the Coalition of Independent also announcing its candidate this past Sunday on social media. Lincoln Bean will represent the COI in the upcoming by-election, and he tells our Shane Stubbs that change isn't coming, but change is here.
Leader of the Coalition of Independents, Lincoln Bean, says it is time for change and that there are a number of issues he plans to tackle in the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency should he be elected in the upcoming by-election.
There's a lot of issues that people have, and they want change badly.
As candidates vie for the vacant seat left by the late Honourable Obie Wilscombe, the COI leader says his interaction with residents in the West Grand Bahama community has been positive, and he hopes to be the one to provide the spark they are looking for.
The momentum has been shocking. A lot of people clearly want different, they want change, and a lot of them have been reaching out to us. People who have previously campaigned with either the PLP or FNM. We're going from household to household, and people are saying that they want change, and they're just tired of the promises by the PLP and FNM.
Viewing himself as one who stands up for the people, he adds his stance for residents in West Grand Bahama started well before his interest in running for the seat.
Not even being interested in running here at the time, I've stood up for people who had land issues. I stood up for baby Bella, for her father in that situation. We fought for many situations, and people know that if I am here, the neglect that they've had will not happen again.
Some of the vexing concerns being touched on are the incompletion of both the junior high school and administration building up to this point. However, there are other elements to the community he is signing up to fix.
This is a fishing community, and there are young men who are gifted in fishing, but there's no dock, and there's nothing to really give them that boost, that economic boost that they need. That's the kind of thing that I'm going to be able to sign up for.
This coming Monday, his next stop will be in Bimini, where he says there have been some who are already campaigning on his behalf.
A lot of them have been telling us that they're supporting us. They've been calling and reaching out, and so we expect to have a strong showing in Bimini also.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, while the country's eyes are set on the upcoming by-election, it is voters in West Grand Bahama and Bimini that will decide who will represent them for the next 3 years. Tonight, our Raven Davis joins us live from West Grand Bahama with the latest.
Yes, Ramiko, I am here in the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency, and I can tell you that the race to fill the vacant West Grand Bahama and Bimini seat is definitely gaining traction among residents. Now, in speaking with some of them today, the general consensus is that the late Minister Wilchcombe did leave behind a lasting legacy. However, moving forward, residents just want fresh representation.
The Progressive Liberal Party always talk about young people. Then you got some young people who are educated, qualified, and I'm looking at one of those from the West.
The thing about it is you need somebody that's going to be a support for that backing that they're going to sit in. If you're going to sit in into Obi Wilchcombe's seat, you have to be qualified to sit in that seat.
Well, right now, you can see he ran the COI, right? Lincoln Bean, he got a good talk. He looked like the man for the job, but I rock him with Kingsley Smith. He's my hometown boy.
Well, when they put there, I'll tell them vote for them. Besides Shane.
We need someone from West End.
Thursday evening, bustling with activity as the FNM ratified noted clergyman Ricardo Grant to contest the seat, while the Progressive Liberal Party Council held interviews for nominees. COI leader Lincoln Bain and 2 independent candidates putting their hat in the race. When asked to share their thoughts about the pool of aspirants, here's what residents had to say.
I feel good with them.
What I've seen, until the PLP really nominate who they're putting in place, they really can't say. But as far as Ricardo Grant, he's an excellent man. He's an excellent choice.
No, I don't think they're loyal. I don't think they need to be in this election.
They say the ideal candidate is a person of integrity, one committed to bringing about more economic activity in that settlement.
Someone to be whatever they say they're going to do it. Be real with the people. Don't cut the people out from what you say you can do for them.
Looking for someone who could change the way we're asking, luck, give us some job, and then we wouldn't have to be here at probably, 12, 1 o'clock in the day drinking a gold Michelob.
We need to upgrade some things like probably the docks and the road, and probably new jobs to come into West End.
Looking for somebody who's going to be devoted. Once you can be devoted and stick with what he say, he ain't gonna fulfill everything, right? But stick with what he say.
Following the untimely passing of the area's member of parliament, one resident says she's taking the upcoming by-election seriously.
It's more about our youths now. It's time for all the elder ones to step aside and give a chance to somebody who we know from West End, grew up in West End.
Well, now, Ramiko, I understand that more than 6,000 persons are registered to vote in the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. And according to Acting Parliamentary Commissioner Arthur Taylor, the by-election must be held before November 25th. Reporting from Pinedale 8 Maroc, I'm Raven Davis. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Raven. Well, the island of Bimini also gearing up for the by-election as more than 6,000 voters are expected to cast their ballots tonight. Former Member of Parliament for West End and Bimini, George Weish, is weighing in on the political temperature on that island. He says this one's for Obi. Shashina Wolf-Farquharson reports.
The by-election race is heating up, and with the candidate selection completed for the Progressive Liberal Party, former Member of Parliament for West, Grand Bahama and Bimini, George Weish says, let the campaigning and the rallies begin.
If the election fever is in the air, a lot of people are excited about what is about to happen. I was very surprised that 10 candidates has aspired to for the seat left behind by the late Obadiah Viscom, my friend. And I noticed that democracy is well and alive. The people here are getting ready for whatever is to come down from the candidates committee.
While some say with 10 aspirants creating factions within the party, Weish says the reality is there can only be one candidate. And he believes that despite the division now, PLPs will come out to vote and ensure a victory.
I doubt anybody, no matter what they say now, I doubt anybody will not want to vote in this by-election.
With just about 30 days to campaign, Weish says for Biminites, the late Obi Wilchkam's success in Bimini should be at the forefront of their minds. From the construction of the Resorts World Hotel that employs hundreds, the viable cruise port that brings both Carnival and Virgin Cruise Lines, the extension to the airport's runway, and the improvements to South Bimini. He also mentions the recent roadworks in Bimini.
We are experiencing a very good growth in all of what we are achieving here. Tourism in particular, business improvement in particular, employment as well. Not only for Biminites, but for outsiders as well, who are here working. And if they want to be honest with themselves, they can realize that I have this job where it came from. I left my home to come here to work because conditions were not as good where I came from, but I came here and met conditions a great deal better. How did all of this arrive here, and who did it?
So here's the question. Some say this one's for Obi. What say you?
That is precisely my slogan. This one is for Obi. It doesn't matter who the candidate is. This one is for Obi, and it should be won by a very large margin.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shashina Wolf-Farquharson.
Switching gears now, Carnival Cruise Line held a business community meeting at the Grand Lucayan Hotel where hundreds of residents throughout the community attended. The informational provided attendees the opportunity to learn more about the new cruise port and the opportunities that would be available in the areas of retail, shore excursions, and construction. Jay Philippe has more.
From $200 million to now a $500 million investment with a promise of 1,000 jobs and limitless business and spin-off opportunities. Executives from Carnival Cruise Line traveled into Grand Bahama to give a project overview and the latest developments on the new cruise port. According to executives, Celebration Key is expected to welcome more than 2 million guests each year. During the information sessions held at the Grand Lucayan Hotel, construction was a major topic of interest where the Carnival team expressed their commitment to work with Bahamian contractors to complete projects at the proposed cruise port.
We're going to look and see and wait and see with great expectations for exactly what they're saying that they're going to do. And once that is done, it will be very good for the economy of Grand Bahama, especially how it relates to construction and the construction companies and their employees.
Carnival outlines some of the projects that they plan to construct to ensure that Bahamian contractors can benefit. President of Masako Investment, Luis Mizik, shared his thoughts on the scope of work expected.
Lagoons, retail stores, floating bars, sand castles, and you name it. There's one of the largest outdoor pools. It's a lake. It's a very lake, a pool lake, and it's overlooking overlooking the harbor. It's 15 to 20 feet above the beach, and so it's been protected from a surge, from a local surge, 17-foot, 15-foot surge. It can absorb that, and so they've done their homework.
Another general contractor, Steve Lang, says he's anxious about the job opportunities that will be available.
They're talking about 200 different smaller projects, so they're talking about using a lot of subcontractors, and that's where the local contractors can come in, the sub work. They want to start with steel buildings, pipe work and stuff like that, but we got a lot of work. We exchange numbers, and they said, like, for me, they'll be sending me some information over so I can start to look on it online.
The $500 million project is expected to propel the local economy.
I can deal with the whole scope because I have a team that works along with me, whether it's blocks, steel, metal, whatever they throw at me, we can handle it.
Once completed, the project is set to welcome guests in July of 2025. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's speech competition in the history books. That story, sports, and more in the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition continues.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Every Sunday from noon until 4 p.m., join us at Portobello's Restaurant at the Grand Lucayan for a delicious full buffet spread. Call 373-1333 for more information.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Youth Division Grand Bahama presents its Youth March and Rally October 22nd at 3 p.m. Heading from the C.A. Smith Building parking lot to Independence Park. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Youth Division Grand Bahama invites you to attend its Youth Recognition Awards on Saturday, October 21st, Freeport Bible Church at 6 p.m.
Health officials announced early on that the curve of the fourth wave has been flat.
Stand by, talent. 2 and cue.
We have a dynamic team of diverse, enthusiastic journalists committed to uncovering the truth and delivering it with zeal and integrity.
Confirms that the victim's body was found by an individual who was involved in the search.
We tell the heartwarming tales of resilience and success, from local politics to cultural events. We have it covered. We have Aja coming live from Bimini tonight for our top story. We are your trusted source in the North. We are ZNS Northern Edition.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's annual speech competition featured primary and junior students bringing their A games on the topic Youth Excellence is the Standard. The topic is this year's theme for the Youth Month, and according to competition coordinator Apostle Kenneth Miller, each student showed brilliance in their deliveries and a keen understanding of what excellence means. Shane Stubbs has more in this report.
28 competitors entered this year's Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's speech competition, and according to coordinator Apostle Kenneth Miller, each student showed brilliance in their deliveries and a keen understanding of what excellence means.
This year we had the historical edition of Grand Key, and their presentation with complete memorization showed us how different the perspectives may be but the pursuit of excellence is as intense. This year's competition is proving that these young people have a message that Grand Bahama could live on and grow by.
And in historical fashion, Tajane Russell of Grand Key All Age School blew the judges away and was announced the primary division's top prize winner by using historical figures as examples of excellence.
Celine Oscar Bowden, April Bay, DeAndre Ayton, and Sir Cindy Poitier. The people that I spoke about, they're very important to our country.
Levine Stubbs Jr. of Sunland Baptist Academy finished second in the primary division after illustrating that excellence is a continuous climb.
I think excellence means to me the high standard of life, and if you want to achieve it, you must work hard and persevere. I chose a ladder because a ladder represents how hard work and perseverance is a dirty road, and how the ladder was dirty.
Corey Damianos II of Glamorous Productions was the first place winner in the junior division, followed by Anna Wells of Bishop Michael Eldon taking second and Carlia Saunders of BJC Passing Score finishing third. Damianos and Saunders share their take on what excellence means.
Excellence means to be good or great at something and be better than what people should think the standard is.
I think it's basically saying that in today's time, youth excel in different ways and they can express excellence in various situations.
Finishing first in the senior division was BJC Passing Scores Jaden Newbold, followed by Jania McMahons of St. George's High and Benet Butterfield of Vessels of Praise Elite. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Young, brilliant minds there. Your check on sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to sports. The Container Port held its basketball tournament at St. George's Gymnasium, but let's begin with BMES where they held their swim gala meet on the campus of the school.
Around the place ready, in position, ready, Mr. Starter. And they're off. This is the 15 over boys.
This is a special one for us because it's an ASF year for us, and that's the Anglican School Festivals. So it gives us a chance to see who our athletes really are, who our stronger competitors are, so we can place them in the right events come to ASF. Preparation is going on daily. We have swimming, basketball, track and field, and it's just a little bit of news to Nassau. Warrior Land is coming.
I feel like it's a good reunion for all the schools to come together and compete in this family challenge.
I haven't been in the pool for about a month, but I come into it for Anglican School Festival. I swim and do my best. So try come first and win for the school.
The race I just swam was 50 free, and I came second. And although second isn't really a best place, but it's still worth it.
I'm in House Anagua, and since I've been here, Anagua has been winning swim gala. We're going to win again this year. So I just love the thrill of being able to compete and swim fast and win.
Switching gears now in sports, the Container Port annual basketball tournament in action at St. George's Gym. In a highly competitive game, Port Authority defeated Bahama Rock 51-33, led by Stefano Bevins with 13 points.
It was a team effort. Everyone chipped in. We still got some rust to knock off, but I think we played fairly well. We got to work on the defense. Some of the guys had a year off. We played since the last tournament. But in all fairness, we got to shape up. We just got to get ready and play for Club Fortuna tomorrow night.
Bahama Rock will look to bounce back in their next game.
I saw a lot of hustle. I saw guys having a lot of fun. Even though they may be out of shape, they came out here to have some fun. And so that's the whole idea about it.
In other scores, Club Fortuna also won against Buckeye 34-33. Container Port Facilities Department lost to Engineering 20-24, and Operations scored 45 points in a blowout game against the Harbor 45-23. Ladies and gents, that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Have a great weekend.
Fluid Factory presents Rick Ross live in concert Saturday, December 23rd at Gombe Park, Freeport. Early bird tickets, general $35, VIP $50, and platinum $85. Fluid Factory Skybox $150. See you there.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Youth Division Grand Bahama presents its Youth March and Rally October 22nd at 3 p.m. Heading from the C.A. Smith Building parking lot to Independence Park. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Youth Division Grand Bahama invites you to attend its Youth Recognition Awards on Saturday, October 21st, Freeport Bible Church at 6 p.m.
Doctors Hospital's reimagined primary care. We've invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations in Freeport and 8 Mile Rock, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Tonight, our Facebook friend is Kim Russell. We extend belated birthday greetings to her, and thank you so much for your support. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, D-Day for PLP's by-election candidates. The opposition cranks up its machinery, planning for the future. And in sports, SAN's new women's basketball president. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
I'm Akush Lapinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. 10 names submitted for a chance to represent the governing party in the upcoming West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election. But just one name was recommended to the party's National General Council for its vote. Our Desmond Saunders has been posted down at the PLP's Farrington Road headquarters for hours now. Desmond, what's the latest coming in from inside?
Here at the PLP headquarters, Farrington Road, PLP hopefuls, council general members assembling here to find out who would be the standard bearer for the PLP in the upcoming West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election. I can tell you that the F&M ratified its candidate, Bishop Ricardo Grant. He will represent the F&M in the upcoming West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. But that's a situation here. A number of railings have been erected. The Royal Bahamas Police Force out here in full force to ensure a smooth safety process. I can also tell you that the Prime Minister addressed the council members and the party committee just a few minutes ago, and now taking questions from the floor. The council is now taking questions from the floor, and the voting process will begin shortly. Now, last night, 10 PLP aspirants were vetted and interviewed. It was a interesting process, but a number of party officials and supporters came out here to support their candidates. Here's a recap.
Because I have a track record. I have a track record of always contributing to the West Grand Bahama area.
The residents and the branches in West End and Bimini sought after me to ask me to consider becoming their candidate in the upcoming by-election.
I want to bring and uplift the community, especially the youth, and bring economic empowerment to those who never had that opportunity.
Scores of PLP supporters outside the PLP headquarters, Farrington Road, Thursday with placards expressing support for their favorite candidates. There was also a strong presence from several Grand Bahama and Bimini residents.
The residents, the majority of them, they're in favor of a young candidate, someone that's vibrant, someone that can get the job done.
This is very important because Grand Bahama economy is down right now.
And we need a big timer like Mr. Shane Gibson to, what you would call, put a boost in the economy.
But the National Men's Branch stand today in solidarity with Kingsley Smith for West End and Bimini. And at the end of the day, we're going to bring that home.
Now, the voting process expected to take place right here in this building, the St. Linden Pinling Center, the PLP headquarters, Farrington Road. News coming to me is that there's a lot of tension, and we are continuing to monitor that situation. But so far, the activity is picking up. Excitement is in the air, as expected. You know, this story has garnered a lot of interest among PLPs, independents, and FNMs. But as I said, we will continue to follow this story. Just a few minutes ago, I thought I would mention this to you. An ambulance came here. I understand there was a medical situation involving one of the PLP stalwart councillors, but that's been resolved. But as I said, we will continue to monitor the situation. And as the vote comes in, we will bring you the very latest. Some 5,000, over 5,000 constituents in the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. And I can tell you, polling and registration is already picking up. This is going to be an interesting by-election. Right here, PLP headquarters, Desmond Saunders, the Bahamas Tonight.
Well, thanks, Desmond. Now, over in the Free National Movement's camp, the only name tossed in the ring was last night ratified as its by-election candidate. No stranger to Grand Bahama, the clergyman says, having been on the ground for some time, he is ready to serve. Altavis Munnings tells us more.
Bishop Ricardo Grant, no stranger to the Free National Movement, but Thursday night was different for the senior clergyman and former Grand Bahama Christian Council president. He was officially welcomed into the FNM's fold as the opposition's candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency, a seat left vacant following longtime MP Obadiah Wilscomb's sudden passing. Now in campaign mode, the opposition Thursday evening admitted to its mistakes during its last term in office, with every hope of using the upcoming by-election as an opportunity to secure all the votes it can get.
Some 1,800 persons did not vote in the general election of 2021. We've identified them, and we will go door to door. We will meet them where they are, and we will make the case that the FNM is under new management. We are going into the street. We are identifying new voters. We are identifying persons who consider themselves FNM but stayed home. We are focusing on independence.
Bishop Grant's been visible in this constituency for quite some time now, and he's confident he's the right man to represent this part of the Northern Bahamas. But what about the criticism of combining church and state?
The mission of church and state should always be the same thing, the people in whom they serve. We serve and we serve people. And when you talk about church has always been about service. It's been about counsel. It's about feeding the sick, feeding the hungry, visiting the sick, visiting the homeless. We strive to be a party that is not first person singular I. We are a team. And our leader says no retreat, no surrender.
Well, the newly minted FNM candidate has the full endorsement of party leader Michael Pintard, who's confident the opposition will add another seat to its parliamentary team.
Here's somebody without a title in politics who has represented Bahamians extremely well. We believe with a larger platform, there's even more that he is able to do. Yes. And if you're asking about the FNM on Grand Bahama, the FNM on Grand Bahama in opposition is having an impact on our communities.
The FNM began its campaign with a stop in Bimini on Friday and then on the ground in Grand Bahama this Saturday. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altavis Munnings.
Now, the Coalition of Independents also announcing its candidate this past Sunday on social media. Lincoln Bain will represent the COI in the by-election. And as he tells our Shane Stubbs, change isn't coming, it's here.
Leader of the Coalition of Independents, Lincoln Bain, says it is time for change and that there are a number of issues he plans to tackle in the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency should he be elected in the upcoming by-election.
There's a lot of issues that people have, and they want change badly.
As candidates vie for the vacant seat left by the late Honourable Obi Wilscombe, the COI leader says his interaction with residents in the West Grand Bahama community has been positive, and he hopes to be the one to provide the spark they are looking for.
The momentum has been shocking. A lot of people clearly want different, they want change, and a lot of them have been reaching out to us. People who have previously campaigned with either the PLP or F&M. We're going from household to household, and people are saying that they want change, and they're just tired of the promises by the PLP and F&M.
Viewing himself as one who stands up for the people, he adds his stance for residents in West Grand Bahama started well before his interest in running for the seat.
Not even being interested in running here at the time, I stood up for people who had land issues. I stood up for baby Bella, for her father in that situation. We fought for many situations, and people know that if I am here, the neglect that they've had will not happen again.
Some of the vexing concerns being touched on are the incompletion of both the junior high school and administration building up to this point. However, there are other elements to the community he is signing up to fix.
This is a fishing community, and there are young men who are gifted in fishing, but there's no dock, and there's nothing to really give them that boost, that economic boost that they need. That's the kind of thing that I'm going to be able to sign up for.
This coming Monday, his next stop will be in Bimini, where he says there have been some who are already campaigning on his behalf.
A lot of them have been telling us that they're supporting us. They've been calling and reaching out, and so we expect to have a strong showing in Bimini also.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Still to come, the pension environment in the country. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Welcome to a world where hope is still loud, where dreams are still relevant, and determination has no substitute. Welcome to a nation where the people are still warm, resilient, and innovative. And Commonwealth Bank is at the center of it all, giving innovation and progress an extra push for more than 60 years. We're here for Bahamians because we are Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat. Unlike the no-gets, at KFC, we hand bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
The ball is back, and the ball is the Red Ribbon Ball, the 27th annual Red Ribbon Ball in aid of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. And the theme this year is 1001 Arabian Nights.
Zaymer is a proud supporter of the AIDS Foundation and the Red Ribbon Ball. Over the years, we found that what we do best creates an atmosphere for people to open up their pocket.
Well, at John Bull, we believe in the work of the AIDS Foundation. You know, I've been told whenever you see that little blue bag, it brings excitement. Well, we're going to have lots of blue bags at this year's Red Ribbon Ball, and we have no doubt that it will be fabulous.
So at Alive Business, we're extremely excited to be a part of the Red Ribbon Ball once again this year, and that we're able to contribute $10,000 towards the success of this program.
As Commonwealth Brewery, we're more than proud to partner with the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. We're going to provide our best wines to entertain and bring the right atmosphere to the group.
So we at Wildflowers are thrilled that the ball is back, and we're very excited to be able to contribute to this event by decorating the Arabian Nights more beautiful than ever before.
Freedom ends for a wanted man. Police confirming that the 21-year-old murder suspect was arrested at the Lyndon Pinling International Airport just before 3 Thursday afternoon, and this having managed to evade authorities for several months by fleeing to the United States. Police officials credit Bahamas immigration officers and officers from U.S. Homeland Security with assisting with the arrest. Well, pensioners and those nearing retirement got a better understanding of the pension environment in the country at CFAL's half-day pension and economic conference. CFAL's operations supervisor, Richard Pinder, making it clear that it's never too late to plan for the future.
That's one of our main mantras at CFAL. It's never too late. Persons always think that because we're nearing retirement age or we haven't made plans when we were younger that it's too late. It's never too late. So we always say get information whenever you can. It's never too late. You may just have to change the way you plan. If you're looking for more information, you can also check out our website at www.cfal.com. We have podcasts on our website which covers some of the topics that we'll be talking about today.
Works officials today updating the media on the continued New Providence Road Improvement Project. Carla Palmer has the latest.
Millions of dollars have already been expended in upgrades in the ongoing New Providence Road Improvement Project, with a number of streets recently completed, like East Street South between Calvary Deliverance Church and Bamboo Boulevard, and another 300 feet on New Hope Road behind Porky Service Station, among others. Still, there's lots more roads to be upgraded, as indicated by Senior Civil Engineer at the Ministry of Public Works and Utilities, responsible for maintenance and construction, Francis Clark.
Lincoln Boulevard, as you may be aware, we started some works on that, and we'll be continuing some of that works within the next 4 weeks. We've also identified a section of East Street North, and that's between Cordova Avenue and Palm Tree Avenue. That is in terrible condition, and we need to send in a crew to stabilize that section.
According to Clark, the work is being done in a phased approach, with those previous areas identified to be fixed in the short term. For the long term, Joe Farrington Road, Tonic Williams Darling Highway, and Blue Hill Road near the Town Center Mall will see improvements.
About our long-term plan, which is basically a 2-year schedule. Our technical team has identified approximately 55 miles of roads that we plan to resurface between January 2024 and June 2025. We have scoped 33 miles of arterial roads and 22 miles of community roads or urban roads.
There are 80 traffic signals throughout New Providence, and they too are part of the upgrade. Deputy Director at the Ministry of Public Works, Damian Francis, says so far 69 locations are completed.
We have moved on to a new type of traffic signal with above-ground sensors. So for a majority of the signal locations, there are no longer the in-ground sensors. So the above-ground detectors cover a wider range than the in-ground sensors would cover.
Officials are appealing to the public for support and patience as the roadworks continues. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, the featured guest speaker at the Rotary Club of South Ocean's meeting in the month October at the Margaritaville Resort last evening. Davis spoke about the country's economic development. Davis referred to global trends surrounding women in leadership roles and how these trends are also significant to women in similar roles here at home.
Women-owned businesses represented 26% of total small businesses in 1997, a major increase from 1972. And this 26% is increasing year after year. The number of women-owned employer firms now number approximately 1.2 million. Can you imagine? Elaine Binder of Bamboo Shack, famed, distinguished herself as a restaurateur, from fast food restaurants to an elegant dining experience you can have at Sapadilla's. Judy Monroe, she ran Coca-Cola Bottling Company, and Tanya McCartney made her presence felt as a policymaker and a leader in both the domestic and offshore banking and financial services sectors.
Davis says she's pleased to see a number of young female business owners in Cat Island taking full advantage of the grants offered by the Access Accelerator program.
They have started solar-type businesses. I went to buy a daiquiri, and the young lady is there. She's not using electricity. She has a a panel, one of these solar panels on the floor, powering her a blender, powering everything she needs, you know, and she's like, oh, we make this down the road, you know, Miss Davis. And then I go further down the road, and I see the other young ladies recycling cans and bottles.
Celebrations continue, marking ZNS Television's 46th anniversary. Our Fern Carey today spoke with two former staff members who witnessed the station's historic beginnings and are looking forward with great anticipation to where it's headed.
Former on-air master control operator Don Cartwright was new to the industry when he joined the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas back in 1977. And he came during a significant era. It was the same year that ZNS TV was officially launched, with a lineup designed to educate, entertain, and inform through its mix of national news, sports, and international TV programs. As ZNS TV marks its 46th anniversary this Friday, Cartwright recalled the historic moment when the first TV broadcast aired, an event witnessed by a lineup of dignitaries, including the late Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
July 10th was one of our soft opening, I should say. But it was very exciting to know that you're a part of history and you were so excited to be a part of that, you know? And it was very, like I said, very exciting. And I always remember that.
Since that time, the BCB continues to build on a strong foundation, undergoing a number of restructuring exercises and changes over the years, with a recent relaunch and rebranding exercise now underway at the station, showcasing a new and varied lineup of local and international programs and TV shows and a revitalized digital media offering. Cartwright believes ZNS TV remains the gold standard in local programming, and he's excited at what's to come.
The new programs are coming on air. That should be exciting, because when we started here, ZNS had a lot of local programs. Those Studio 8, I mean, is to be buzzing all day, all day. Different programs, recording focuses, academic, in touch, so many. Looking forward to seeing some good things from ZNS. It's still a part and still feel, you know, very good about the place.
Former Deputy General Manager for Television Administration, Charles Russell, was just 17 years old when he began working at ZNS back in 1977. He too is excited to see the advancements being made.
Came on 16mm film. And today, with the advancement of technology, programs are on could be downloaded through the internet or on a DVD or on a flash drive or hard drive. So that tells you the advancement where we came from in 1977 with 16mm film to digital. But 46 years, ZNS has come a long way.
Russell notes that back in 1977, the emphasis was on local programming with a balance of 50% local programming and 50% international programs with an emphasis on news programs. He's optimistic, though, that with a new generation of Bahamians now running ZNS, BCB's TV will continue to represent excellence in the broadcasting arena.
Next 50 years, or as ZNS approach its 50th anniversary, I think more emphasis should be placed on the Bahamian producer, because we have so many Bahamian producers out there who are able and willing to assist. They've been assisting ZNS with local programming over the years, but I feel the powers that be have to reach out to them more with more incentives to encourage them to contribute to showcasing their talent and producing programming on ZNS.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Marcellus Hall joins us in studio with a check on what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in Sports for the City, we'll tell you how the new Women's Basketball Association slate of officers says they got big plans for the league. We'll give you details on that coming up after this.
You can find it all at Builders Mall.
From cement, lumber, block, plumbing, and electrical to paint, lights, vanities, and tiles. Not to mention all the tools you could possibly need to get the job done. Say if you're starting a major project, adding the finishing touches, or just doing some repair or rental work around the house. FYP, the Paint Center, and Tile King can help. Stop by or call 601-8453. Located 69 Wolf Road, Nassau. You can find it all at Builders Mall. Building, painting, and tiling, the Bahamas.
The savings you really need are found at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. So cheesy macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounce, 89 cents. Sea bass chunk tuna, 5 ounces, 99 cents. Whole watermelons, $6.99 each. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 99 cents per pound. Super Value Protein Gas, 8 ounce, $1.99. October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Together, we can make a difference. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
As Breast Cancer Awareness Month winds down, tonight we share with you the story of a survivor now in her late 20s who faced a series of strokes, and all while undergoing a cancer treatment and finishing up her academic studies abroad. LaDawn Davis has a story.
I had several strokes after the diagnosis because of my cancer treatments.
The administering or infiltration of chemotherapy treatments to rid cancer cells from the breast or other parts of the body not only left Kennedy Ferguson weak and fragile, but triggered a series of strokes. Still, she gives all thanks to God for being alive.
I did 16 rounds of chemotherapy, and I did 5 weeks of radiation therapy, and I also did my double mastectomy, followed by reconstructive surgery. After my treatments, my mom noticed that I was having some challenges that was not normal. So she rushed me to the emergency room, and they did several tests on me. They did an MRI, they did a CT scan, and they realized that I had a huge blood clot in my brain. So because of that blood clot in my brain, they kept me in the ICU for about a week, not knowing what was going on with me, what caused the blood clot to happen, because I was still so young. So there was initial thoughts that the cancer was not gone and that they just did not know. So they ran more tests. I have like a spinal tap and several other tests.
That was May of 2022. In August that same year, Kennedy had blood clots removed from her brain, but the strokes intensified. It was then that she knew she was in the biggest fight of her life.
The blood clot was removed out of my brain because I was on blood thinners for that. And then I started to have inflammation in my brain vessels, still having the strokes months later. So there was several strokes. I don't even know how many at this point. And so I began intense treatment again of steroids. I was on steroids for about 4 months, in and out of the hospital every month for about 4 months, spending weeks, days in the hospital. In October of 2022, my doctors realized that what was causing it was the cancer treatment. So the immunotherapy, which was really helpful, but also caused a side effect of the strokes.
Still battling breast cancer, Kennedy was prescribed chemotherapy in a bottle of pills for about 2 months, which doctors said showed positive results.
So in November of 2022, I stopped having the strokes because the chemotherapy, the new treatment, helped. So after that, I had small side effects from the strokes. Luckily not as bad as many other people, so I'm thankful for that.
Like many breast cancer survivors, Kennedy also carries the BRCA1 gene. The good news is she's now in remission and is having routine checkups to ensure it stays that way.
I'm still at higher risk for ovarian cancer, and I still there's a very small % of chance for recurrence of breast cancer. So I follow up with doctors every 6 months for my cancer. But regards to my strokes, I still have to see my neurologist and do brain MRIs every 3 months. They're every 3 weeks. I'm very thankful they got extended to every 3 months now.
In the face of it all, the 28-year-old still managed to graduate magna cum laude and obtain a master's degree in architecture from Florida International University. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Breast cancer undeniably one of the leading causes of death among Bahamian women. To increase awareness, though, South Beach Member of Parliament Bacchus Roll is hosting a breast cancer 5K and 10K fun run walk to get residents and their families to walk for a cure. It's an initiative that has reaped some pretty positive results, as several women who took advantage of the free cancer screenings were diagnosed with the disease.
Last year we did free mammograms for the constituency, and many women took advantage of the program. And about 8% of the persons who took advantage of that program found out that they had to treat. Some went as far as they found that they were at stage 2, didn't know. So it's important for us to continue to get the message out that early detection is the best way to handle it and to treat this.
Roll says while registration for this year's event was initially slow, it has picked up with every expectation it'll further increase ahead of Saturday.
We have currently registered about 125 persons. That's for the 5K walk as well as the 10K run. And of course, there's a 10K walk, right? We're excited about it. The numbers are better than last year. There's a mini health fair and expo where we have Chef, Addie Farrington from the University of the Bahamas. She'll be out there with a cooking expo on how to cook healthy. Can you imagine cooking a healthy bowl of chicken sauce? I thought that was healthy, but apparently there's a better way to do it. So we'll have a massage corner where we have students from BTVI coming in giving massages. There's a nutritionist that we'll have.
And speaking of running for a cause, the Bahamas all set to run in, all set to run in the 26.2-mile marathon to the North Pole next Saturday, an effort to raise funds for local cancer charities. 14-year breast survivor Evie Jackson, who lost one of her lungs in the fight, has competed in several marathons, but this one is special as it coincides with her 60th birthday.
We have a high rate of cancer in the country, period. And a lot of people have benefited from the two groups, one in particular, Sister. They are giving pots, giving monies to people everywhere. And so I chose them as one of the charities to raise this money for. And then MD Patient Navigation with Melissa Major. She's also a cancer survivor. And she's starting a project to help people navigate the process, assist with care packages and whatever information.
With a strong family history of cancer and a positive testing for the BRCA1 gene, Jackson says she can't overemphasize the importance of adequate health care to assist women in the cancer fight.
I'm dealing with now at a Freeport. When I heard her story, it was so sad, and a lot of people don't have money. If you don't have money, may the Lord help you, because drugs are expensive, treatments, doing tests, everything is just expensive, and a lot of people just don't have it. But, you know, the government can only provide so much also. And I tell people, if you can get insurance, make the sacrifice and do it, because when the time comes, that may be your only thing you have to get good health care treatment.
Still on health, those associated with hospice care were today given additional skills and resources during a half-day geriatric hospital caregiver symposium. The theme, strengthening the resilience of older careers, a timely one as people are said to be living longer. Now, for the most part, though, with longevity comes health challenges like Alzheimer's or dementia. In fact, it's reported that every 3 seconds someone is diagnosed with either, while some 50 million people are living with the disease globally. President of the Bahamas Alzheimer's Association, Wendy Poitier.
Locally, here in the Bahamas, it is estimated that there are over 2,000 people living with dementia or Alzheimer's. And this number is expected to reach over 6,000 by the year 2050. By 2030, it is estimated that the cost of caring for people with dementia worldwide will have risen to almost 2 trillion, that's trillion with a T, a total that could undermine social and economic development globally and overwhelm health care and social services, including long-term care systems specifically.
Poitier renewed a call for the government to prioritize dementia risk reduction and support those living with the disease through their commitment to the World Health Organization Action Plan and Public Health Response to Dementia. Chairman of the Public Hospitals Authority, Andrew Edwards, appealed for public support.
Through our world-class geriatric facilities and team at the Sanders Rehabilitation Center, we are doing our part to bridge the gap. The need is great, though, and our capacity is limited. In fact, there are limited resources throughout our country, both private and public. The truth is that we do not have the public health care financial resources to meet the needs being filled by these caregivers. We simply don't.
Well, we do apologize. We now go to our Desmond Saunders, who is standing by at the Progressive Liberal Party headquarters in terms of the latest coming out from there. Desmond?
With members of Shane Gibson's camp, we and the ZNS team, including Devontae, we've been following this since 6 o'clock this evening. What's happening? For sure. So just a few moments ago, we outside.
Oh, we do apologize. We hope to return to that story later in the newscast. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight. Stay with us.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
On May 1st, 2012, Rubis acquired the Chevron fuel business in the Bahamas, which traded under the Texaco brand. We are now celebrating our 10th anniversary of the Rubis brand in the Bahamas. Rubis has become the fuel brand of choice. However, our 10-year journey was not without challenges. We would like to recognize our dedicated members of staff and thank our customers for their continued support. We look forward to another 10-year milestone as we continue our journey.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up for your right.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before things get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
On May 1st, 2012, Rubis acquired the Chevron fuel business in the Bahamas, which traded under the Texaco brand. We are now celebrating our 10th anniversary of the Rubis brand in the Bahamas. Rubis has become the fuel brand of choice. However, our 10-year journey was not without challenges. We would like to recognize our dedicated members of staff and thank our customers for their continued support. We look forward to another 10-year milestone as we continue our journey.
First we plan, then we innovate, then we build. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we are committed to quality, to safety, and to service. We know that the road you take is just as important as your final destination. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, it is our job to make sure the road and the ride are as smooth as possible. From striping roads to building them, we are the right choice, the trusted choice, the only choice to help you build your tomorrow.
Well, we go now back to our team who's posted down at the Progressive Liberal Party headquarters on Farrington Road. What can you tell us?
Chaos and contention erupted just a few minutes ago. A lot of activity here at the PLP headquarters when it was announced that Kingsley Smith will be the party's standard bearer as he enters the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. As you know, ratified yesterday was Bishop Ricardo Grant of the FNM, and
certainly, Desmond, it's been a crazy night on the inside. We were standing on the outside of that room, and we could hear on the inside an they're casting their votes for who will be the PLP standard bearer. After all of that, we heard the Prime Minister get up to the podium and said, I've heard enough, I've heard enough. And he said that the committee, that they're going to accept the committee's nomination, which is Mr. Kingsley Smith. He was standing on the outside of the building. Once he came inside, there was a loud cheer for him. But what we did see was that a few supporters came on the outside and said, they're going to lose this seat, meaning the PLP is going to lose this seat. Crowd of Gibson supporters come on the outside and they said, we're not voting for the PLP. They're going to continue to support Shane Gibson, and that is going to be the end of the day for them. And of course, as you can imagine, this is a PLP seat since 1972. They've only lost it 2 times, in 1997 and in 2017. And again, we're going for a by-election. And tonight, the PLP leader, Philip Davis, offered the party's nomination in the by-election to fill the vacancy by Obie Wilscombe to Kingsley Smith. As we all know, Kingsley Smith is the chief passport officer. Prime Minister Davis said that Kingsley Smith is representative of a brand new generation of leaders in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, and of course they're going to support him fully. And Smith said that he's going to pledge to continue to work, the work of Mr. Mitchell. And of course we can see some people now coming outside.
Yes, and right, we see we see the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Davis. We're going to try and see if we can get word with him. Prime Minister Davis, you're live on TV. Any comment about tonight's process?
Well, the process was as planned. We followed our constitution, and everyone had their say, and the majority had their way.
What do you say to people who say that the party is now not a unified party?
Well, they have a lot. They have a lot to say or to think about. We are a democratic party. We encourage lively debate. We don't encourage a yes party. And we have persons who express their views and straight views.
Is it safe to say that as PM you are satisfied with Kingsley's selection? You're satisfied?
I'm satisfied with it.
Supporters say they're not going to support the PLP if Kingsley Smith, that is chosen. Any comments on that?
Well, he has been chosen, and we'll see what happens.
And you feel like Kingsley is a good enough choice to go up against Grant in Grand Bahama?
He will win.
Thank you.
There you have it. Response there from the Prime Minister about tonight's process. Certainly, Devontae, is going to take some effort to unite the party supporters. As you've seen here, Shane Gibson supporters were quite vocal and passionate.
Yes, and since then they've left. So all we see now is some of the council members now coming on the outside of that meeting. The Prime Minister just left. We're seeing a few more cabinet ministers just left. And we heard a lady just say that it's now unity. And obviously the Prime Minister and leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party will have to continue to work on that. Of course, we've been hearing some things on the ground that will come to light in a few weeks, we are told. But for right now, Kingsley Smith Jr. is going to take that seat, and he is going to represent the PLP in this upcoming by-election.
And this process tonight is not just relegated to one party. This happens with all major political parties. We're going to try and get word from Kingsley Smith shortly to address some supporters. A lot of moving parts taking place here, Devontae, but we're certainly getting it done. A thick, interesting play of events here this evening here at the PLP headquarters.
Well, as you just heard from the Progressive Liberal Party headquarters, Kingsley Smith, 50-year-old attorney Kingsley Smith, has been chosen as the PLP's candidate. And we now go back to the PLP headquarters for more on that selection.
Time to go and win the seat of our fallen brother Obadiah Welchcombe, and our standard bearer in that area is going to be Mr. Kingsley Smith.
Sorry, any concern? Obviously, we know that there appear to be a rift as we see Mr. Gibson supporters between Mr. Smith's supporters. Any concern that this would cause a fracture within the
We have a great democracy. Families sometimes have differences, but we are such a great family that after the differences are settled, we band together. We recognize we're stronger together. We're ready to go on the ground in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, and we will win.
We know that Smith would have applied for this seat before the 2021 general election, but lost to the legal V. Welchcombe. Did this have a part to play in the decision?
There's a process. 10 persons applied. All of them were interviewed. The candidates committee determined that Smith was the best choice, and the National General Council concurred.
What to the PLP supporters who feel as though this is somebody who recently became a PLP member?
Democracy in the PLP is alive and well, and we're ready to go to the ground in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, and all of us will be there.
Thank you.
And there you have it, the Deputy Prime Minister talking about unity and democracy playing a major role in the process here today. That's the word from the PLP camp, democracy playing a major role, and unity playing a major role in the entire process. I want to get Devante, because he and I have been following this whole process since 6 o'clock. It's been an interesting play of developments, and in just a few minutes, we're going to hear from Kingsley Smith. But as you look at this whole process started some 6 weeks ago. The application process yesterday was the vetting process for some of those, for all of the 10 PLP aspirants who were interviewed and vetted, and now tonight the National General Council made its final decision.
And right now, Desmond, it's on. It's now time for a by-election to kick into action. As we saw last night, the FNM chose their candidate. Already there are 3 candidates, Lincoln Bain from the Coalition of Independents, Tennille Burrows, who's an independent candidate, and DeQuan Swain, who's also an independent candidate. Tonight, the PLP made their decision on who they want to represent them in the by-election. And from here, it's just go time. And at this point, we don't know when that by-election is going to be called, but for us in the media,
this happened by November 25th, right?
Right. And so for us in the media, we'll be waiting with bated breaths, as well as all of the supporters that are here, that are rushing out of this meeting, as well as those that have already left. And that is going to be what is going to happen for the next few days. It's going to be hard work on the ground, and I'm certain that whatever happens, it's going to take somebody to win that seat who is going to put the work in to ensure that he or she gets the vote in that by-election.
And as Deputy Prime Minister said, family go through family differences.
Right.
Quite interesting.
And we've seen that on both sides of the political divide. Earlier, we've seen a lot of turmoil with the Free National Movement. Now we're seeing a little bit of turmoil with the Progressive Liberal Party. But obviously, they're working as hard as possible to ensure that members do what they have to do. Yesterday, I spoke to a PYL member who said that, hey, that's when you can take it away.
Okay, I understand. I'm getting word that Kingsley Smith, the PLP's candidate, will be out shortly. But your whole play of the events tonight, you've been intimately involved in the process.
Yes, good night. Yes, it was a democratic process. You heard from both sides. You noticed that we had 10 persons who had submitted applications to vie for West End and Bimini. And so the candidates committee made their selection. They recommended tonight to the NGC party, grouping at large tonight. You had persons who voiced their opinion for and against. And it was a vote that was cast, and the majority was in support of what the candidates committee had referred to the body tonight, which was Kingsley Smith will be the standard.
You saw the chaos and contention that erupted earlier. There's going to be a whole lot of effort to bring this party together after this whole process.
Well, it's a democratic process in terms of, but you notice it was still peaceful. Yes, it was somewhat contentious. It was non-violent. It was a democratic process, and the majority spoke tonight in favor in terms of who they figure would be the appropriate person to be the standard bearer for the party in West End and Bimini. And as we move forward, you will now see the mighty PLP's machinery go to work in this by-election coming up right now whenever the Prime Minister determines the date for West End and Bimini. And we are going to be victorious.
What word do you have for those disenchanted voters? May have gone disgruntled, have become disgruntled with this whole process tonight?
Well, I could, because you're going to have some persons who support the various candidates. And what happened tonight, some persons' candidate was successful and some were not. But the most important thing is we are all PLP members. And the biggest objective right now is to retain the seat of West End and Bimini. That is the most important thing, which we're going to... Yes, it has. And so with this, we're going to move on. You're going to have some disappointment persons, but like I said, as the machinery starts to get towards West End and Bimini, everyone is going to come in line for the best interest of the party at large for us to retain this seat.
Thank you very much. You're watching live coverage of the Progressive Liberal Party's nomination process. As was indicated earlier, Kingsley Smith will be the standard bearer for the PLP in the upcoming West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. There's been pandemonium here earlier, contention erupting, chaos. within the Shane Gibson's camp. Many of them feel that they've been robbed, and they are very disgruntled about the whole process, as you saw the images earlier. But I want to get Devontae Hanna in because he's been covering this. We've been on the scene since 5 o'clock, and it's an interesting play of events. I sure won't compare this to last night's ratification with the F&M.
Yeah, certainly, Desmond. It's a different flavor, and you can see that between the different parties. When you go to an F&M event or rally or something like this, it's completely different from when you come to a PLP event such as this, and we're definitely seeing that. And obviously, it's election. They're just coming off the death of a faithful member of the Progressive Liberal Party, Minister Obi Wolchcombe. So emotions are high right now for all of the people that are here. And right now, what is clear is that they made their decision to go into this next by-election, that is, and they're going to try and keep that seat with the Progressive Liberal Party. If push comes to shove, they're going to do what they have to do.
The makeup of the nomination process, 10 aspirants on the PLP side, young faces, many of them promising change, some promising economic reform, social justice. But it's interesting to see what happens with Kingsley Smith. I had an opportunity to speak with him, and he wants to continue Obi Wolchcombe's legacy. Yeah. We're going to be speaking with him in just a few minutes. But like I said, Kingsley Smith is the standard bearer, the candidate officially nominated. And we're going to try and see it and hopefully get him in just a few minutes.
Certainly. Speaking about those 10 candidates, quite a unique bunch of candidates. Obviously, leading was Shane Gibson as well as Kingsley Smith Jr. But somebody notable, a fair number of political newcomers were in there. Of course, they came here to the headquarters to get their interviews yesterday, and we saw all of the supporters there that were rooting for Gibson and Kingsley Smith Jr. But obviously, the decision has been made, Desmond.
And certainly this process is going to continue probably until, midnight? Hopefully not, but around 10 o'clock thereby. And we're going to try and get Kingsley Smith. He is the official PLP and Bimini constituency. It's been an interesting evening. Thank you so much. Makisla, back to you in the studio.
Well, thanks, Desmond. As you just heard, a five-way race heading into the by-election for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency now that the PLP has ratified its candidate in the person of 50-year-old attorney and chief passport officer Kingsley Smith. It's now time for a check on Family Island weather. And for that, we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisla. We have cloudy skies, temperature at 77 degrees, relative humidity 85%, northwest winds at 1 mile per hour, relatively calm with the barometric pressure at 1,010.6 millibars. That's 29.85 inches. Temperatures around the family violence this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 74 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greentoll, Key and Abaco, Marshall, Abaco at 76. The Berry Island, 76 as well. Allenstown, Bimini, a little warmer at 80 degrees. 76 in Harbor Island. Rock, Sandy, Lutra, Black Point, Exuma, and Kemps Bay, St. Andros at 75. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, they have a temperature of 76 degrees. In Allenstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, 75 degrees. 77s in Rygat Island, Clarenstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Meguana, 82. Acklands, 82. Matchetown, Inagua, 86. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 85 degrees. And your voting forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight, light and variable winds with flat seas 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. High tide will occur at 48 minutes past midnight. And then tomorrow, Saturday, for all areas, the winds northwest to north at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide, that will take place at 6:52 in the morning with a high tide at 1:26 in the afternoon. And on Sunday in the Northwest and Central Islands, the wind...
Well, we now go back to the PLP headquarters with our Desmond Saunders.
We're now joined by Kingsley Smith. Mr. Smith, congratulations. What is your strategy moving forward? You're now the PLP candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency.
Well, now it's time. The election is very near. And so we must get on the ground as quickly as possible. We need to mobilize. The other parties were on the ground already working. So we have much work to do. And you will notice, you'll see in the next few days, the party coming together, mobilizing, and, so to speak, get the victory.
You said the election is very near. How near? Have you heard anything about it?
Well, I mean, according to the law, after the vacancy of a seat, you have 60 days, right? So once the writ is issued, they have no less than 25 days and no more than 30 days for having an election.
How do you feel previously that affect your chances in the upcoming by-election?
I don't know where you get that from, that I try to run for the FNM. That never happened. Support. I support it, not run.
This election, as the candidate, has caused quite the stir. We've seen some party supporters actually get up and leave and say that they're not going to vote for you. How does it make you feel as the new candidate for this by-election?
It makes me feel no way that happens. Everybody have their horse in the race, high emotions, high tension, and when they calm down and simmer down and understand what the party and what the PLP is all about, we will galvanize, unite, come together for one common goal. All right, and that's victory.
Yes. Now, ahead of the 2021 general election, you would have applied for this seat. I would have lost to the Labour leadership. Now that he has passed you a chance to step into his shoes and not only continue to work, but carry on the legacy. How are you feeling now?
Well, like I always say, Obi Wilsham's shoes is one that should not be filled. You know, like when you hang a jersey on the rafter, you put those shoes on the side, and then you try to walk in your own shoes. But however, he would have started some stuff in the constituency, and so we must continue that. All right, we're not going to let his legacy die. We're going to continue on that what left in place, and we'll enhance and make our community a much better and economic place to live.
Amen to that. Okay, that concludes that.
Right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Just heard there from Kingsley Smith, the PLP's candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency.
Well, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, having heard from the PLP's ratified candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency heading into the by-election. We'll take a break and return.
You're not going to do very well in this court if you keep cutting me off.
I've already paid him $500, and I noticed we haven't spoken about the $500 that I paid him. I did not receive any of my money.
I didn't know her like that.
I ask the question and then you answer.
But I spent
and
that on my car.
Mr. Roll, that is the order.
I joined an ASU that was led by Mr. Wilkinson. At the end of it, I would have received $5,000. However, I did not receive any of my money.
You would understand the importance of a wedding day for a bride.
Well, I've never been a bride.
The decision is legally binding.
All right.
This is ZNS Total Sports. ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check on a Friday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Basketball news starting us off last night. New Providence Women's Basketball Association with a new slate of officers is following elections held at the Donald Davis High School. Now, overseen by the Bahamas Basketball Federation, elected and appointed as members of the new team are President Anastasia Sands, First Vice President Jean Minas, Second Vice President will be Donnie Culmer, with the Third Vice President Shandell Williams, Fourth Vice President will be Shakira Farrington, Treasurer will be Brittany Harrison, Assistant Treasurer Ashley Bethel, Secretary Charmaine Ferguson, Assistant Secretary Judy Hamilton, and appointed as Public Relations Officer Charles Rubens, along with League Commissioner will be R. Norman Humes II. Sands speaking on the objectives of her association.
This league here is to not just
play during the night, but it's here to develop females basketball from the ground up, from the mini primary school. We have the junior league. We have to think about the junior national team and right up to the senior national team. And also it is also here to help females go off to a higher level, college, and then the professional level as well. So that is what we're looking at.
Now, under no delusion as to the work ahead in reviving women's basketball here in the country, President Sands says she's up to the challenge.
Right now, top priority for us would, number one, was first of all to get the league back up and running. And then number two, to get ourselves some sponsors. And then thirdly is to get the females back involved in playing basketball to the point whereas, we have a nice fan base and a nice atmosphere.
The new team's 4-year tenure expires in 2027. The league last played games back in 2020 when it halted play prior to the start of its championship series. GSSA senior volleyball action in from yesterday over at the Donald Davis Gym in the feature game between R.M. Bailey and C.C. Sweeting boys. This one went to a third and deciding set. Both teams exchanging points. None of them wanted to lose. Fans from both sides going wild. It would come down to this. C.C. Sweeting's Kevin Roll up to serve at match point. A line drive serve that R.M. Bailey's backcourt player unable to return. Cobras winning the match 18-25, 25-22, and 21-19. Afterwards, we spoke with Cobras coach Prince Wilson.
I feel if they continue to listen and play the game the way I'm trying to get them to play the game, I think they can win it. We lost our first two games to C.I. Gibson and I think C.R. Walker. But I think the next time around, we should be able to put up a better fight, if not win that game.
Now, Wilson commenting on the quality of play in high school volleyball, saying it definitely needs to improve.
I don't think high school volleyball is near the level it should be. I think myself and others who are affiliated with volleyball should be more present and help the program to grow. Because you can see the level of competition is very low.
University of the Bahamas Mingo softball team took on the Black Scorpions in NPSA action yesterday evening. Mingo starting off strong, took the early lead in the game, going up 8-4 in the second inning. Both teams went on a scoring frenzy, and in the seventh inning, the game was tied at 16 apiece. Black Scorpions scoring the go-ahead run for the 17-16 walk-off win. Head coach Shane Aubrey said the loss came right down to defense.
As a combination of defense broke down. I said it while we were playing. Pitches missed a few locations. And like I said, bottom line, the defense broke down. Scoring 16 runs and giving up 17. Like I said, no shame in it. We have to tighten up on our defense.
And that's it. You look at sports for you here on this Friday. Don't go anywhere. We got that final Friday weather outlook coming up right after this.
ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sands Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Sand Dollar is the digital dollar created by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. It's just like physical cash, but safer and more convenient. Sand Dollar is secure and can be used on any Android or ISO device. Use Sand Dollar for your personal and business transactions. Whether by QR code or short name, you can send and receive Sand Dollars safely with the touch of a button. Download any Sand Dollar enabled app to get started today. Sand Dollar, it's just like texting cash.
Shalom, I'm Arthur Bailey, Apostle and Overseer of Arthur Bailey Ministries and House of Israel International, inviting you to join us for Searching the Scriptures on this station every Sunday at 9 a.m. I look forward to searching the Scriptures with you and your family. That's 9 a.m. on Sunday. Check it out, and your life will never be the same in Yeshua's name.
Health officials announced early on that the curve of the fourth wave had been flat.
Standby talent.
2 and cue.
We have a dynamic team of diverse, enthusiastic journalists committed to uncovering the truth and delivering it with zeal and integrity.
Confirms that the victim's body was found by an individual who was involved in the search.
We tell the heartwarming tales of resilience, and success. From local politics to cultural events, we have it covered. We have Azure coming live from Bimini tonight for our top story. We are your trusted source in the North. We are ZNS Northern Edition.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have cloudy skies, temperature 77 degrees, relative humidity quite rich at 85%, north-northwest winds at 1 mile per hour. The barometric pressure 1,010.6 millibars, it's 29.85 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Valleys this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 74 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greenville, Key, Marshall, Babico at 76 degrees, and the Berry Island, 76 as well. Alderson, Bimini, a little warmer at 80 degrees, 76 in Harper Island. Rock, Sandy, Luttrell, 75, Black Point, Exuma, and Kemp's Base on Andros, 74, 76 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Picking up some 75s in Alderson, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown. Exuma, 77s in Rygat Island, Clarence-Town, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megwana, 82, Acklands, 82, Matthewtown, Inagua, 86, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 85 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, Vital King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight, light and variable winds with flat seas 1 to 3 feet. Your high tide will take place at 48 minutes past midnight. Tomorrow, for all areas, northwest to north winds, 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights remaining at 2 to 4 feet. Now, your low tide tomorrow will take place at 6:52 in the morning with the high tide at 1:26 in the afternoon. Now, for Sunday in the northwest and central parts of our country, the winds will fall off light and variable with flat seas once again at 1 to 3 feet. Low tide occurs at 8:01 in the morning with the high tide at 2:33 in the afternoon. And for the southeast bombers on Sunday, northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. Now, taking you to the tropics, we have Hurricane Tammy, now some 126 miles to the east-southeast of Martinique. It's moving towards the west-northwest at 7 miles per hour, maximum sustained winds at 75 miles per hour, and we expect it to intensify a bit more over the next couple of days as it moves more towards the north, and it will remain a hurricane as it approaches the northern portion of the Leeward Island, even perhaps moving over portions of the Leeward Islands as well before making its way into the North Atlantic. And closer to home, we have that frontal boundary that has pushed through the northwest Bahamas that generate all the heavy showers and thunderstorms we had this morning. Well, you can see that nice clearing behind that. It's moving into the central parts of the country, so we'll have a nice little cool down over the next couple of days as that system pushes through. Partly cloudy and quite mild tonight with a low temperature of 76 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at partly sunny to partly cloudy. Pretty nice tomorrow with those clouds opening up. 85 degrees for your high temperature and the extended weather forecast. Beautiful weather over the weekend. We have a little bit of cloud work its way back into the forecast on Monday, but the sunny conditions will continue right through the remainder of next week. Temperature-wise, going to get you in the mid-80s. Those nighttime temperatures, they're going to be in the low 70s, and we'll pick up some upper 60s as well over the next couple of days. Makisha.
Well, thanks, Basil. And that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.